Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Clutch Talk podcast /YouTube/We Do It All. As always, I'm your host, John. Very happy to be here. My brother Jay Hizzle over there in the six. How you doing, my dog?
Great. I'm feeling great. Week 4 of the NBA, Jay. Let's get it, man. Dive right into it. How you doing?
I'm good, Jay. I'm good, Jay. It's Monday. Happy Hustlers holiday. You know what I'm saying? We out here getting to it, Jay.
Yeah.
But yeah, like how you said, Jay, no need to delay. Let's just get straight into it, my brother. So you know what we're doing. We introduced our new segment last episode. Shout out our guy Jacoperto, man, giving us the game. So here we go. We about to kick it off with that, Jay. Let me know if you can see that, please. Can you see that?
Yes, sir. Right here.
There we go. All right, let's get it, Jay. What are we feeling, Jay? Do you want to start with the, like how you said 6'6", like you said last time?
I already got my. Let's start with Lonnie Walker.
Oh, Lonnie Walker.
Lonnie Walker.
I think he's like 6'3". Oh, he's 6'4". So he's smaller than 6'4".
He's smaller, 6'4". He's got we didn't get anyone on that. So he's a guard or a forward. Okay, that doesn't really help. And he's smaller than 6'3". Okay. Who is smaller than 6'3"? Let's just say Steph. He's a guard or 6'3".
Okay, he's a guard.
So he's just a guard. Okay.
So he's 6'3" then. He's 6'3" because he's
6'3".
Yeah, he's above 6'2", less than 6'4". He's between 40 and 30 in numbers.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay. That doesn't help at all, but
that doesn't really help at all, but all right.
Yeah, who's 6'3" and guard? Well, there's tons of.
There's a lot of guys like that. Not Jay.
Yeah.
Man, let me see. 6'3" guard. Trey Young's he's like 6'1".
He's not. Is Terry Rozier 6'3", isn't he?
Well, Terry Rozier was last time. So you think? I mean, you want to try it again?
Yeah, it's not him, but we'll just do it to see what clues it gives us. Let's see if he's in the East. Oh, he's not 6'4". He's not even 6'3".
Wow. Wait.
But he's in the East.
Nah, he has to be
6'3".
He has to be 6'3" because he's above 6'1", above 6'2", but below.
Oh no! I was saying what I meant by that was Terry Rozier's not 6'3".
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, it's a tough one, Jay. Let's see what.
Who's 6'3" in the East? So many players. It's not Drew Holiday because he's 6'4".
Yes, yeah, he's like 6'4", 6'5". Yeah, man, I feel like he's gonna be a nobody, Jay. He's gonna be a bench player.
And it's not George Hill, yeah.
Nah, can't be George.
Let's do one more guess before we hit that silhouette.
All right, last one right here. Let's do 6'3". I don't know why I'm blanking on just sort of 6'3" players.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Caruso? No, it's not Caruso. He's 6'4", right? He's 6'5".
Yeah, he's 6'4", 6'5". Caruso, not Caruso. You want to try Kobe White?
We'll try Kobe White. I think he's taller, but we could try him. See what he do.
Oh.
Okay, Central.
I don't know the division. That's not gonna help me.
Is it no, it's not. It can't. Tyrese Halliburton's taller than 6'4".
Yeah,
than 6'3".
He's 6'6". The big guard. Let's see that silhouette, Jay.
See the silhouette.
All right, let's see it. CJ McCollum. That looks like CJ McCollum.
No, that's not. Oh, that's Corey Joseph. That's Corey Joseph.
Dang, Jay.
That's gotta be.
All right, Jay,
I knew it, man.
Jay.
See, you knew it. You said it's a no. Yeah. But Corey Joseph's not a nobody.
I mean, not a nobody, but I feel what you're saying, though, Jay.
But you know what I mean. We're not going to be thinking of Corey Joseph. Respectfully.
Man, when I think of Corey Joseph, I think of his Spurs days, man. Not his Pistons days, man. So that's a good one, though, Jay. Good job on that. You're good with the silhouette, my brother. So
the silhouettes gives it away. Crazy.
The silhouette you give it away. But all right, Jay. So talk to me nice, brother. Talk to me nice.
Yep. So let's get into it. First segment of the day, Jay, we got our players of the week. Who you got for your players of the week in the East and the West? Start us off.
Players of the week, East and West. For the West, I mean, come on, man. Luka Doncic, he's been putting on the show. You send me that video of him cooking the Raptors. And honestly, I haven't seen anyone play like this in a long time, Jay. He scored above 32 every single game of this season so far. Just this week, he scored 33 on the Raptors and got a W, scored 35 on the Jazz and got a W. Only took 3 L's so far this season. It's got to be Luka, man. The Don. And then who you got in the East? I will say agree with you on that. Luka's been balling like a mug, Jay. So I'm gonna give Luka the edge, but I will give my honorable mention Paul George, absolutely balling out for the Clippers this week. But as we always say, we value winning and what that can do for your team. And honestly, Luka is, I think, floor a first ballot Hall of Famer, man. I haven't really seen anyone completely dominate the league like this so young since a young LeBron, honestly. So it's insane. I'm not going to say he's on that level yet, Jay, but he's certainly, gracing in terms of just sheer dominance, the way he just, I swear the dude's just smiling because it's so easy for him. You know what I mean? Like it's too easy for him. He's laughing every time he scores. It's almost it bothers me. It shouldn't be that easy, but he makes it look so easy. But Jay, we're witnessing a generational talent every time he steps on the floor. Every time we watch that Dallas Mavericks team, and they realize that too. It's just clear with the way that they're assembling their team. They understand how good Luka is because he's just dominant, man. He just dominates the game at every single level. And even defensively, he's picked up a bit this year. So, man, shout out
Luka. Scary, Jay.
And what's cool is I do like how you said that, like, we haven't seen somebody dominate at this young of age since LeBron, but I like it because LeBron at that age was jumping out the gym, doing all this and that. Luka really still not even really doing that. It's just beating people off sheer talent, knowing the game and having insane footwork. So definitely shout out Luka. He barely gets a dunk every once in a while. Come on, man.
Yeah, he's a sicko. Jay. I'll start us off then with the East, the Eastern Conference. I'm going with Dr. Drew Holiday. Over his last 5 games, obviously the Bucks are 9-0, but Drew Holiday's in the last 5 games, averaging 24 points a game, 6 rebounds, 8 assists per game, 2 steals on 52% from the field, 41% from the 3-point line, and 84% from the free throw line, Jay. He's been putting in work. I think he's still NBA champion, still slept on. The dude just never gets enough love. But Dr. Drew is an absolute baller, man. He's so cold. I love watching Drew Holiday play. He's going to lock up your best player. He's going to give you buckets. He can play make. He's a facilitator. He knows when to get his own. Just a joy to watch this Bucks team. Jay, I'm going to skip ahead for my biggest winners. That's our next segment on biggest winners and losers. The biggest winners are clearly the Milwaukee Bucks. Look like the championship favorite. The way they're playing right now, I don't see anyone beating them. Because they can win in so many ways, which is scary. Like, Giannis doesn't need to be playing. We already showed that against the Pistons. Brook Lopez stepped up and looked like the best player on the floor. So they can beat you in so many ways. They can beat you in an ugly game. They can beat you in a high-scoring game. And Chris Middleton isn't even playing yet, which I'm kind of worried about because he's on my fantasy squad. But the Bucks are disgusting. Drew Holiday's cold, Jay. But that's my player of the week. I got a little carried away there. Who you got in the Eastern Conference?
No, you didn't, Jay, because I'm right there with you. But not Drew, but I'm going with Giannis because of the 9-0, of course. What I also really like is he's been really, of course, he's been really dominant throughout this whole season so far. But the Bucks played the Pistons earlier in this week. They played them twice this week. Earlier, they barely won by, I think, maybe like a 5-point game or something like that. Next time they played, Bucks knocked them out the water. Giannis had 32 points, 12 rebounds, 5 steals and 2 blocks. So, I like that, that MVP in Giannis to say like, oh, you almost had us last time. I'm gonna kill you this time. Put him out.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't have
Put
much
them out
else
of
to
her
say,
misery.
man. Come on,
Yeah.
dog. And Jay, I'll just go ahead and go right there with you. I'm a winner of the week. Jay is also the Milwaukee Bucks, 9-0 without Chris Middleton. Come on, man. Like that's crazy, Jay. The
Yeah.
Bucks are on fire right now.
The Bucks are on fire, Jay. And I really think it's one of those situations where the rest of the league's got to catch up to the Bucks right now. I think they're on a tier of their own, so we'll see if this continues. But I they got no answer for the Bucks, Jay. But who you got for your biggest winners and losers? First of all, we'll start off with your winners of the week. Teams. I already said mine with the Bucks. Who you got?
Yeah, I got the Bucks as well. 9-0. Chris Middleton. Really, really, I feel like you just until they lose, you can't go anywhere else. You know what I'm saying? They're the only undefeated team. And when we're talking about losers and winners as far as teams, until they lose a game, like they have to be the winners. They're undefeated, man. So that's how I'm going with the Bucks. My losers of the week, Jay. I got to do it to Jay. I'm sorry. It's got to be the Warriors, Jay, defending champions. And I did, they lost some key players, but didn't lose like all their roster. And they're on a really 5-game losing streak right now, sitting at that 12 seed. And what worries me most and why I had to put them as losers of the week is because they just keep dropping games to teams they just shouldn't be losing to. And that's, that's a bit worrisome. And this week are 0-5 on the week. So the Warriors got to be losers of the week for me.
Okay, I could see why you'd say that. I'm gonna go with the Nets, the Brooklyn Nets, for losers of the week. Although they didn't lose all their games, I just don't like the way that they handled this situation with Kyrie. Just the organization's pretty much in turmoil right now. So until they get back on board and they're able to, figure out the direction they want to go, I'm gonna have to go with the Nets as the biggest losers of the week. And I'm gonna keep it pushing on that, Jay. But next segment we got here is who's most likely to. So I'm gonna go with in the next 5 years. I got 4 teams here. 4 teams here with very young and promising cores, Jay. So what out of these 4 teams do you think is most likely to have the most playoff appearances out of these 4 teams? The Oklahoma City Thunder with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. We've seen his emergence. Josh Giddey and Chet Holmgren as their core. And then the Orlando Magic with Paolo Banchero, Bol, who's looking like an emerging core piece of them, Jalen Suggs, and Franz Wagner. The Detroit Pistons with Cade Cunningham, Isaiah Stewart, Sadiq Bey. You maybe even throw Killian Hayes. He's been a disappointment to this far in his career. And Jalen Duren will add him to that young core. And then the Houston Rockets. We've seen what they're building over there with Tyree Eason, Jalen Green, Jabari Smith Jr., Jay, that young core that they're building. So out of those four teams there, the Oklahoma City Thunder, the Orlando Magic, the Detroit Pistons, and the Houston Rockets, who do you have having the most playoff appearances out of those young cores and those franchises in the next Jay, 5 years?
That's great question, Jay. I love that. I want to say Magic. I really do, but the only reason because I think they got the best roster. But we all know making the playoffs isn't just about having the greatest roster on paper. It's about being able to mush it together and be able to play together. People playing their roles. So I'm gonna go with the Oklahoma City Thunder, Jay. I mean, I know it was a couple of years ago, but when Chris Paul was there, he had brought him there to the playoffs, and no one expected that. I know SGA got a lot of just exposure in that situation. I know that team is honestly completely different from what they were with CP, but I think that there's some players who like SGA, Darius Baisley, a lot of players on there got that exposure and are now willing and ready to step up as the leaders of their super young team. And out of all those teams, I would go with the Oklahoma City Thunder, especially when they get Chet back, man. Because when they get Chet back, Jay, I really think SGA and Chet on a 2-man game is going to be something to watch for.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you on that. I look at these these 4 teams, and I see the 2 best players right now are Paolo. I think right off the bat, Paulo's arguably the best player, but Shai I'm going to give him the nod there because he's got the most experience out of those plays. He's solidified himself as arguably a superstar in this league. He can do it on both ends of the floor. He's a 6'7", 6'8" point guard, however tall he is. He has the size, he has the athletic ability, he has the IQ, he has that it factor too that you want in your number one guy and your franchise player. All of those factors make Shai just incredibly hard to beat, and that's who you want as your anchor. And he's who I have the most confidence in out of all these cores. But I do like, after seeing firsthand and going to a Detroit Pistons game and seeing the energy of the crowd and how much basketball means to those guys, and seeing Cade and his leadership firsthand, I wouldn't be surprised if Detroit's right in that conversation because I like what they're building there. I don't love Dwayne Casey as a coach, so that's why I'm a little hesitant there. And I don't like the way that they're developing all of their core pieces or their young guys right now. I just love what OKC's doing the most though out of this group, and I'm gonna give the best player of this group the nod here. And Josh Giddey's showing flashes too, so I'm gonna go with OKC in this one by a little bit. And I don't think Houston's very close in that mix. They're probably my least. Yeah. I think they'll have the least playoff appearances out of all these groups. But Jay, next, who's most likely to? So who's most likely to in the next 5 years have an MVP if one of them at all is going to have an MVP? Not for certain one of them will. Jason Tatum, Ja Morant, or Devin Booker? Who is the first of those three if they're going to have an MVP? Which one of those will have one?
Man, I like that, Jay.
Be the first one to get one.
I gotta go Jason Tatum, Jay. I gotta go Jason Tatum. We know what Jason Tatum do as a as a whole, Jay. We know what he do. We see the way he's playing this season right now. If he continues to play like this, I mean, unfortunately, Luka Doncic is playing, so he won't win it. But he can keep doing his thing. He's definitely going to be like a runner-up. We've seen him contribute to winning, and I mean the MVP. I mean, when we think back to Westbrook's, like I believe it was 2017 when they gave him the MVP. A lot of people had a problem with that because he wasn't winning. He was like the 7th or 8th seed, and that's I think that's the same thing that people would argue against a Devin Booker or John Moran, because if you're going Devin Booker, John Moran, or Jason Tatum, out of all those guys, Jason Tatum is the most proven winner, in my opinion. Jason Tatum's the leader out of all those guys, in my opinion, more than anyone. So for me, Jay, I got to go Jason Tatum. If something happens to Luka, Jay, I hope nothing happens to him. Don't be surprised, man, if he's up there in MVPs, Jason Tatum. Definitely.
Wow, Jay. Wow. Jay, because I'm gonna hit you with the shout out Nipsey Hussle, Jay, because last time that I checked, the Memphis Grizzlies are 7-3 with the 700 win percentage, Jay, and that's the best. Actually, no, second best out of this group, and Devin Booker has a 7-2 record. But that's the best out of that group. The Suns have the best record, followed by the Grizzlies, followed by the third team here, which is Jason Tatum's Boston Celtics, Jay. So I just love the way that Ja's playing right now, controlling that offense. We've seen him slowly but surely start relying less on his athleticism and using it to his advantage. We've seen him make the strong change to his game, to show the change of space, to use his quickness to his advantage, the burst of speed, kind of protect himself a little bit more. Sometimes he's still doing those dunks where you just hold your breath and kind of hope for the best on some landings where he's just taking off from the second hash mark. But he's got the young legs, he's got the young body, but you kind of worry. But I think I'm going to go with Ja out of this group. I never didn't really think I would say that. But I mean, the way that he's playing, the way that he has his troops balling this year, without a clear number two. And that's the most important factor here. If you look at these other two players, Devin Booker is clearly I would say he's the go-to guy, the number one option, but Chris Paul's right there, right? And what he means to the Suns. And then same thing with the Boston Celtics. Jason Tatum is the 1A, but the 1B is damn good in Jaylen Brown. and he's right there. We've seen multiple times this year. Jason Tatum has 35. Jaylen Brown has 33. Jason Tatum has 34. Jaylen Brown has 34 too. I don't know. So it's just a lot of those situations where, yes, Desmond Bane has stepped up, but night after night, we know who the numero uno is in Memphis, and that's Ja Morant night after night. And that's what you want out of your most clear and most defined, most valuable player out of these three players this year. For me, no disrespect to Jason Tatum. He's definitely having a great year, and I would have him right in that conversation, if not maybe ahead of Ja. But the clear most valuable player for the Grizzlies this year out of these three players has been Ja Morant, in my opinion, Jay. So I'm going to go with Ja Morant based off what I've seen from this year so far to win it, because in the next 5 years, he's clearly the number one option in Memphis. So, Jay.
What's going on? What's up?
And before, real quick, not to mention that we might see a situation where Jason Tatum isn't the number one option on Boston anyway. Might be Kevin Durant. It might be Kevin Durant. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Jay,
Who knows?
Oh, man, Jay. Oh, man. Yeah. I mean,
little prediction.
It could happen, Jay. It could happen. That would erupt. The war would erupt. That would shake up the entire. Although I wouldn't want to see how that would work out, but I'm sure they would figure it out some way or another. But
that was a good segment there. Who's most likely to? But without further ado, you know what time it is, Jay. It's game recap time, and I'm gonna let you start it off. We're only going, since it's a shorter episode, we're only gonna go with one game here tonight, and then I do want the last segment. I want to get your games that you're looking forward to this week. Obviously, we got a full game slate of games. When this episode tonight, as we speak, tonight we'll have a full game, full slate of games. Because if you haven't already, when you're listening to this episode, go vote. It's a big voting day. That's why there's no NBA games when you're hearing this episode today on Tuesday, November 8th. Well, we're recording on November.
Gotcha.
We're recording on November. We're recording on Monday, November 7th. But when you hear this, it will be Tuesday, November 8th. So go vote. Go get your vote on. Make a change. Make a difference in the United States of America, y'all. Ignite your right. But Jay, listen. So that being said, I want to get your take in your top games that you're looking forward to for the rest of the week or even tonight, so folks can listen to this one and see what those happened in those games. But game recaps, Jay, you got first game?
Yes, sir, Jay. Game recaps over the weekend. It was a great basketball weekend. On November 5th, which was Saturday, the Hawks beat the Pelicans 124-121. Honestly, Jay, I still had coming into this game, I still had my doubts about the Hawks. With Trae Young and DeJounte, how is that going to work? But this game definitely helped me calm down, Jay. They complemented each other well. In the first quarter was the CJ McCollum and Trae Young show. They just were trading buckets, going at it. And shout out to Clint Capella, man. He had 9 points, 8 rebounds just in that first quarter, not even that first half. Almost had a double-double in the first quarter. And then, CJ had to really kind of hold down the fort for the Pelicans in that first half because BI was struggling, man. He struggled to get it going, only scoring 9 points in that entire first half. And honestly, Jay, like when you see BI playing that way, not, of course, it makes the Pelicans a worse team, but it just hurts them on the defensive end. It hurts CJ because now defenses are loading up on CJ because he's the only person who can put the ball on the ground and go get a bucket at about any time. So, BI really needs to be there for that Pelicans to be at their best. And in that first half, Zion had 12 points, CJ 15, Trae Young had 17, Clint had 13. But real quick, before I, forget about DeJounte Murray, I want to highlight the fact that in that first half, Jay, he played so off ball and he had most of Clint's buckets came from assist from DeJounte Murray. He had 8 assists in that first half. He had 9 points in that first half and 3 steals. The Pelicans, they are right now, they're third in the league, Jay, for points in the paint. And it really showed in this game, Jay. They took it. They took it to the paint with 68 points in the paint. And honestly, Jay, as I was watching, every time that Zion would dip that shoulder, the double has to come. The Hawks are, it's whoever's playing the Pelicans, whoever's guarding Zion. If you're guarding him man to man and he dips that shoulder, the double has to come, man, because it's just not fair. He's too big and too strong for just about anybody, which is crazy to say. And then this is where I really want to circle back to the beginning where I talked about me getting more calmed down with DeJounte Murray and Trae Young playing together, because it's not perfect, Jay. It's really not. But if it's going to work, Trae Young has to play off the ball, Jay. In this game, I saw him eat the defense up with his IQ, with his vision, with his just playmaking ability that I don't think DeJounte Murray has that as much as Trae Young, to be honest with you. So I think that, DeJounte Murray should definitely play more off ball. And he did this game and got his first triple-double as a Hawk with 22 points, 11 assists, 10 rebounds. And then just, some other notes that I just want to highlight on this game, Jay, was that John Collins got taken out of this game, Jay. Like, he played the whole game, was not injured. Nothing was wrong with him. But he had a terrible game. It was 7 points, five rebounds, 4 fouls. And you know what I credit that to? Zion Williamson. Just straight up took him out of the game. I don't know if it was that John Collins was too tired on the offensive end to try to do anything because he's trying to guard Zion on the defensive end. I don't know if maybe Zion's just a tough defender for him. I don't know what it is, but he just pooped the bed. And unfortunately, I have him on fantasy. So on my fantasy team, pooped the bed that day too. And then in that fourth quarter, Jay, the Hawks got off to a early 13-point lead in the fourth by their defense, really forcing the Pelicans to shoot outside shots, because we know the Pelicans just like to go inside, give it to Valanciunas, give it to Zion. But the Hawks shut that down and made him shoot outside. And then that's how the Hawks really went on that run. But Jay, Zion Williamson in the last about, I think, 4 minutes of the game just did not miss. He went on a roll, did not miss. And with 45 seconds left in the game, the Pelicans are up 109-107. And now we got a game. I'm on the edge of my seat, Jay. I'm like, oh man, are the Zion on the Pelicans going to pull this one off? But DeJounte Murray, Jay, the same way we talked about him being a playmaker, now he comes in and is the finisher, Jay. Bro, he just broke down Larry. In that probably the last 2 minutes and in the overtime, DeJounte Murray bullied and just broke down Larry Nance every single time. Took it to him, either blew by him for a layup or got a mid-range pull-up. And, I mean, he hit the mid-range to send it into overtime, and then in overtime he dominated, and, the Hawks ended up coming out with the 124-121 win. Good game. I like to see DeJounte and Trae working out. But I need to see a little bit more. I mean, I'm sure Trae Young's not going to go for 34 points every game. I'm sure DeJounte's not going to be able to have a triple double every game. So I'd like to see it, on an average basis, how that's going to work out. But good game in general, Jay.
Yeah, no, that was an exciting game. Great recap. And I mean, I do want to see how that duo works out, because that can be an exciting backcourt and a tough backcourt to beat. As we saw, I watched that game as well and was watching that game, and you just kind of felt that Pelicans were in control, honestly, for a bit of that game. I just felt that they were going to kind of take over with their experience, and CJ McCollum and Zion knocking off Trey's glasses and things of that nature. But no, DeJounte just looked like he wanted it more, hitting tough shot after tough shot, and at the end there, and came up with that big shot over some great defense from CJ McCollum, I have to add as well. That was just a better shot over, great offense beats good defense sometimes. So, and that's exactly what that happened. But let's see how the rest of that backcourt, that tough backcourt in the East works out. But I want to talk about another backcourt and another team, Jay, and that is the Cleveland Cavaliers with their 114-100 win over the 2-7 Lakers, Jay. Sorry to say, Jay,
because the Warriors only got one more win than the Lakers. Almost.
Yeah, no, I mean, wasn't almost said that, but I was gonna say sorry about bringing up the Lakers and that loss, Jay. Both of our teams are struggling early in the season. We got one more win than y'all. That don't want to really nothing really to brag about there, but Jay, let's talk about this game, man. and the backcourt is what I want to start here. Donovan Mitchell scored 33 in this, continues an amazing season here. And then Darius Garland with 24 to add to that, the dynamic backcourt of Cleveland. And Darius Garland returned in this game from his injury, 1 game injury with his knee. But the thing that I see here and what's kind of being the common theme here for the Cavs early in this season is similar to, what I was talking about earlier with the Bucks and their multiple ways to win. That's what is making me kind of take note of this Cleveland Cavaliers team and their ability to win in multiple ways. They can beat you with their strong backcourt. And this was something I alluded to maybe in a couple episodes, maybe 2-3 episodes ago, about their ability to beat you not only with their backcourt and how talented it is, but they can beat you and bully you down low with Kevin Love, who had a great plus 22 in this game. Double-double for him in 20 minutes. Jared Allen, another double-double for him. Mobley was ineffective for the most part, but was able to affect the game defensively. This was a game that saw the Cavaliers with their biggest lead of 17. That was their biggest run. Biggest run was 17. And the biggest lead for the Lakers was 12. Only three lead changes in this game. The Lakers, for the most part in the second half, even into the third, were really leading this game. But what I liked and saw from the Lakers team, and Jay, I will talk about this point, was the Lakers team who, we talked about Russell Westbrook being the problem, who is the problem. But I can't really say, we look at the game that he had, he was 6 for 13 last night from the field, 3 for 5 from the 3-point line, 4 for 5 from the free throw line, 7 assists. Yes, he did have 7 turnovers, but I don't think the game was lost in Russell Westbrook's minutes, man. He had a solid game, man. I think the starting 5 for the Lakers played better. We're starting to see them play better basketball here, but I think it was more to do with what the Cavaliers did instead of what the Lakers didn't do, if that makes sense, Jay. This was a sense. Well, this is one of those games that, you could see how much this meant to this Cleveland team. This is a Cleveland team, Jay, and I'm going to read you this stat because this is pretty crazy. Out of 19 times that LeBron's played the Cavaliers, he's only lost to them twice.
Dang.
So twice. Yeah. The only other loss that he took besides last night was his only other loss was March 2011 with Miami. So this was what, 2 teams ago when he was on.
I was gonna say, did the Lakers take 2 L's to the Cavs?
No. Yeah. Okay. No, this is all the way back with Miami. So has total ownage against his hometown team, Jay. And I'm going to talk about what Donovan Mitchell said, because obviously he had a big game. He says, "You've always got to have respect for greatness," said Mitchell, who grew up a fan of James and the Cavs. When the greatness are on the floor, you go out there and try to find a way to compete and get a win. We came out there and we're just trying to do what we've been doing. Fortunately, it was against Braun, but that wasn't a talking point or anything. So Mitchell remained in a groove with his new team, Jay, and this is topping 30 points for the 6th time in 8 games, Jay. So this was a slow start also for the Cavs in this game. The Cavaliers trailed by 12 points in the first half during a slow start. And I think JB Bickerstaff talked about this, attributed this to LA, but smoothly surged away in the second half. So he said that this was a lot of what the Lakers were doing. I think Troy Brown Jr., Jay, and you can attest to this, has been a great addition to what the Lakers are doing and to their rotation, man. It's good not seeing guys like, Juan Toscano Anderson out there, and no disrespect to him, but, Troy Brown Jr. is much more effective, I think, for the Lakers with his ability to shoot, his ability to defend. So that was big. And then Anthony Davis, Jay, we talked about the Lakers needing for him to step up and he's been playing a lot better. He's been playing a lot better. You know, statistics don't tell everything, but Anthony Davis had 19 points and 12 rebounds for the Lakers. I talked about Russell Westbrook, who had 19 points and 10 assists, 7 turnovers. You want to see that cut down, but I do like his aggressiveness and his efficiency better in this game, Jay. Like I said, not a lot of lead swings in this, but I will talk about the huge boost that they got on the Cavaliers got off the bench that arguably was the difference, and that was Kevin Love coming off the bench that I mentioned earlier. His double-double was huge for the Cavaliers. And then Cedi Osman also big off the bench in his 19 minutes, going with 9 points, but some timely buckets for them. And I just love the depth and well-roundedness of this Cavaliers team, Jay. And ultimately, a big road win. You know, the Lakers are only 2-7, but it still is the Lakers, a storied franchise, one of the two best players in the game, and Anthony Davis and LeBron James. So big win for the Cavaliers. They continue to roll, and the Lakers, you know, struggling, but I will say playing better basketball, and they've also had a pretty tough schedule to start the season. So, you know, if Westbrook continues to keep playing better, and we're seeing him kind of fall into his role and kind of accepting that. So that's exactly what you need. I still think they need to add, you know, maybe a couple pieces, but LeBron's going to start playing better. Anthony Davis is healthy. That's the best thing you can say. And he's playing well. So it's a story of two kind of teams there. But definitely an interesting game last night, Jay.
All right, recap, my brother. I appreciate you for that, because the NBA League Pass is playing me right now, Jay. They not letting me. Yesterday, I was trying to watch the game. It just kept freezing. I tried on Safari. I tried on Chrome. So unfortunately, I haven't even been able to watch the game, Jay. But I got your recap, so I'm all good.
Man, NBA League Pass is bugging. And we can't even. Speaking of NBA League Pass, we can't even warn, and people are giving them warning unless you checked our story today as we record, or this today, because I know all the games are free today for any, even if you're not a subscriber. Obviously, you and I, Jay, are subscribers to League Pass, but for those of you who are not, the games are. Hopefully, you see this or already saw our story that the games are free on League Pass today. But that's a pretty cool thing that the league's doing.
That's a really cool thing. I might have to call him up and be like, yo, I need like at least like one of my money back for one of the days that I paid. Yeah. I'm just playing, Jay. But yeah, Jay, great recap. I'm gonna try to watch that game later today. Hopefully, my NBA League Pass stop tripping. But just a quick thought from looking at the box score. Lakers. I'm happy they shot 27 threes, but still, man, I mean, 29% has been one of their best 3-point percentages this season, man. So like how you said, Jay, a lot of moves need to be made, and that's bringing shooters, man. I mean, I just see zeros across the board from when I'm looking at this 3-point mades. So very upsetting. Again, LeBron has to play with shooters. Kendrick Nunn, I don't know why, but when we got him, I was like, wow, Lakers are just going to make us so much better. Like, I have seen so many 0-0 game from him. 0-5 from the field, 0-5 from the 3, 0 points on 18 minutes. But yeah, Jay, looking bad for the Lakers, Jay. But thank you for that recap, my brother. I will try to watch that game later today.
Yes, sir. And that, yeah, but on the good note for them, they are one of the top 5 defenses in the league. So you make that flip offensively and you shoot a little better. You bring in more shooters to surround LeBron and AD, and you're a competitive basketball team again. So yes, sir. That's what I will say. On the bright side, Jay, you got to look at the bright side, man. We got to look on the bright side for your Lakers, man.
That's the good thing, Jay. If you're the Lakers right now, there's nowhere else to go. You know what I'm saying? You can only go up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I guess you go a couple more spots down, but hopefully not. Yeah. But all right, Jay. So let me go ahead and give you my games I'm looking forward to this week. For Wednesday, Jay, the 9th, It's got to be the battle of the La La Land, Lakers versus Clippers. ESPN, that's going to be a big game to check out. That's always a big game.
There's one game that I listed here, Jay, and that's the New Orleans Pelicans sitting at 5-4 as we record this episode, and the Portland Trailblazers sitting at 6-3, going at it on November 10th, Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern time, Jay. I think that's going to be a great game. I mean, I'm happy to see Dame time back. Saw he's listed as healthy, so that's good news for the Blazers. And then the Pelicans, hopefully they got everyone going. We saw Zion, return to Zion to their lineup. B.I., your guy, he's back in the lineup. So that's going to be a good game. I'm looking forward to that one. That's a game I really have listed down here for this week.
Yes, sir, Jay. We got a whole bunch of good games this week, man. And today, Monday, November 7th, we got a lot of games. So we'll have a lot to watch, man. But I think it's a good place for us to go ahead and wrap it up here, Jay. It was another great episode, my brother. Do you have any final words that you want to say before we sign off here, my brother?
Oh, man. We appreciate the support. Appreciate you getting on the episode. Stay tuned for a big guest episode we got coming here. As usual, get at us, follow us on Instagram, let us know what you want to be added to the show, sub to us, like to us, all that at Clutch Talk Pod on everything, TikTok, for all your basketball content, wants, and needs.
That's it. We out of here, y'all. Clutch Talk out.
Peace.